All right, here we go. Week after the midterm, reproductive system. A few housekeeping items. The midterm scores, I felt like they were very good. That will be the format for the final, only it'll be much more comprehensive, and there will be many more questions. So make sure you're comfortable with that format. I'll skip down here to this part. As we look forward to the final, please email, call, or text me and let me know what you can really benefit from as far as preparation for that, so that I can try and include that in your preparation over the next few weeks. Still, the biggest thing on weekly quizzes that's plaguing our class is format and spelling, and I know that I talk about this every week, but just as an illustration, if the question is what is the combining form for pus, here are the options or the things I see that are put in there every week: pio, or pyorrhea. The only correct answer here is py\o. That's the correct format. That's the correct spelling. If you put pio, even though it's the same thing, it's not in the correct format. If you put pyorrhea, that's utilizing the combining form in a medical term, but it's not correct. So if you put either of those other two, you're going to miss the points. So hopefully this makes it much clearer. If you're still struggling with that, please give me an email, text, or a phone call. This week we're talking about reproductive systems, male and female. So as always, it's very important to understand the anatomy and then how the anatomical terms can be applied as far as prefixes and suffixes go to give us medical terms. So internal female anatomy, of course, starts with the vagina. This is, like it says, muscular tube. It extends from the cervix. This is your cervix right here. And it goes to the external body. Its functions are sexual intercourse. It's a receptor of the semen. And then, of course, discharge of menstrual flow if the ovum or the ovary, not the ovary, the ovum does not get fertilized and become an egg, as well as implanted. Here's your ovaries or female sex organs. Sex organs are known as gonads, both in males and females. In females, it's your ovary. In males, it's the testes. Sex glands secrete sex organs, right? So sex glands contain ovums. As they ripen, this is a process called ovulation. And as they ripen, they secrete progesterone and estrogen on a cyclical nature. That's why we call this the menstruation cycle here. So here's your ovaries. The next part of this is your fallopian tubes. Here you see your fimbria. These help to conduct the ovum out of the ovary and down into the fallopian tubes. This is where ovums get fertilized and become eggs. Is usually in the fallopian tubes, and then they carry down into the uterus, where they're implanted and nourished to become fetuses. If they implant up here or out here, then we get what's called an ectopic pregnancy. That's a surgical emergency. So the uterus, this lies in the pelvis as far as the place in your body. It is where the eggs implant and the embryo gets nourished inside of an amniotic sac. Oftentimes, if you've had babies or if you're going to, they'll offer you amniocentesis for analysis of the fluid within the amniotic sac. This sometimes helps them identify babies who may have some genetic disorders. The baby grows here during the prenatal stage, and nato is equal to birth. So prenatal is the stage before birth. This uterus has three bodies. It has the fundus, the body, and then here's the cervix down here. This is the neck, right? We have cervical vertebrae in our neck. Cervix is the neck of the uterus as well. Behind this, and you can probably see it better in the next picture, it exists this area called the perineum. And if we go back to this is kind of this, this next slide. This is the area between the vaginal orifice and the anus. And in childbirth, this is the area that would actually be incised episiotomy to increase the size of this for childbirth. Now, external anatomy, collectively, you can see this is called the vulva. Major structures here, the clitoris, you've got the labia majora and minora, the vaginal opening, and the urethral opening. So, and then here's your mons pubis, this fatty padding up here in the front. But these are your external female reproductive anatomical structures. Of course, your breasts, these are found both in male and female. The technical term for them is mammary glands. The combining form for that is mammal. However, they're only active in females due to hormonal production there. And their glands, you have these lactiferous ducts. They drain into the nipple where the milk is secreted, and this little darkened area around the nipple is the areola. And this is all done through the milk secretions through a process of galactopoiesis, which is the production of milk. Galacto meaning milk here. As far as male organs, externally, the distal end of the penis, this is your glans penis or blanco. That's what I was talking about here. It's got the urethral meatus here. Urine and semen are expelled in this area. As you come further up, I think I've got the same picture on the next one. You get here the urethra, of course, and inside the scrotum here, which is this sac here, you have the testes. These are your male gonads, and there's multiple combining forms here for testes, so make sure you know those. The main hormone this produces is testosterone. Now, inside of the testes is what we call seminiferous tubules. These produce the sperm. The sperm is then transferred into the epididymis, which is this guy right here. And this is where sperm is stored. It matures here, and then it comes out here. It goes into the vas deferens, right? Vaso, it's a tube. We learned that in circulatory system. So here we go. Vaso, vas deferens, right? Coming up here into the seminal vesicle. Here we get a bunch of glands in the prostate gland. They're secreting different substances to help with ejaculation and expelling the sperm. Some of them are secreting alkaline substances due to the acidic nature of both the urethra and the vagina, which the sperm will have to exist in if we're going to be able to procreate and have fertilization of the ovum and then get an egg. So this is all described here. Then connects the urethra, which is the final tube prior to the sperm being ejaculated into the vagina. So some things you might see as far as male and female anatomy. If our sperm count is low, then we have oligospermia. This is scanty sperm. This can certainly lead to infertility. Also, there is a condition called cryptorchidism, which is one where the testes fail to descend into the scrotum during development. And so crypto means hidden, so this is basically hidden testes is what we're talking about here. Also, you can have varicocele, which is dilation of the veins and herniation of that vein within the spermatic cord, which extends, and this is getting somewhat technical, more than you guys need to know right now, but this extends down into the inguinal canal, which is, where all this is at, kind of the vas deferens and everything extend through this inguinal canal and down into the scrotum. So if you get herniation, dilation of those veins, you can have problems as far as infertility too. So you can see here, and I only say this because I know this is a big issue, especially in the LDS community, infertility. There's a lot of things that could go wrong, from a woman not secreting the correct amount of hormones, progesterone or estrogen, to allow ovums to develop appropriately, and then for them to have a normal ovulation cycle. Menstruation cycle could go wrong. Again, if you're not secreting enough hormones, then an egg can get fertilized, but it can't implant into the wall. The uterus never develops and thickens so that it could receive the egg. So there's a lot of things that can go wrong here. It's a miracle that anybody ever gets pregnant, in my opinion, knowing everything that can go on here. So, but just for your information, the same thing with on the male side, if you're not producing alkaline substance and it's too acidic, your sperms aren't going to survive. Or if you're not producing enough sperm, if there's some kind of blockage, somewhere where the testes aren't getting supplied with enough blood, all those things have to be checked out. So there's a lot of things that could lead to infertility. And, some people are unfortunately blessed with that trial. And so, this is something you want to have at least a baseline understanding of as we go forward here. My spiritual thought for this week is a great story. One of your classmates actually emailed to me this last week. Of course, we had more to do. We had the regular work, and then we had midterm on top of that. And she emailed me this story where, on top of all of that, her daughter had to go in for emergency C-section, and so she had to fly down and be with her daughter. Of course, that would definitely be the priority, to take care of your family. So she has all of that going on. She's trying to get ready for this class as the normal week, as well as the on top of that the midterm. And so she emailed me and she said, I've been preparing this whole semester. I've been studying. I've been reviewing. I've been doing all the things that I need to do. And she said, I got to a point where I just needed to focus and take care of my daughter. And I can certainly understand that. Sometimes we just get into those situations. But the beautiful thing was she still scored a perfect score in the midterm. And I have no doubt in my mind that is because of her preparation. Preparation breeds confidence. More than that, preparation, when you have done all that you can do, just like she had, then God will magnify your abilities and your efforts. He knew that this was going to happen. He knew the situations that she'd be placed in. He knows all things, and He magnified her efforts because of her diligence, her faithfulness, and preparation. One of my favorite quotes, it floats around the internet all the time. There are some things that do not require talent or gifts, and those things include hard work, discipline, preparation, time management. Those are things that require absolutely no talent. They require you utilizing your agency and acting instead of being acted upon by deadlines and things like that. And they allow you to have confidence. They allow the Spirit to work with you. They allow you to be a better learner. So I'd encourage all of you, as you consider the time left we have in this course, whether you're at a spot in this course where you think you're doing well or you'd like to improve on these things, on laying the foundation of being a good learner. And I promise you and bear my witness that God will magnify your efforts. He will take your one talent and make them many as you lay the foundation of hard work, discipline, preparation, time management. I bear you that witness. I hope you have a wonderful and successful week. If you have any questions, concerns, email, call me, text me. Look forward to working with you this week. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.